Hello, everybody. Welcome to the round 16 fan cams. After the Blues beat the Tigs, beat up on them all day. 20 goals, 11, 131 to 10 goals, 10, 70. It was cold, it was wet, didn't matter. Got the job done. 10-goal win. Away we go. We are now in a position, got a little bit of a gap with top two, and away we go. These are the fan cams. They're brought to you by Mr. Koken, who is the sponsor of the fan cams. Thank you very much for your support, Mr. Koken. If you'd like to join the fan cams, I'm going to put the link in the chat shortly. It's a bit early, so we can go. It's actually very early, so we can go all night long. But share your thoughts, document your memories, what happened today, and we'll go from there. We'll start with Pommy.
He's in a tired of swear. Tired of swear.
He's in a tired of swear.
Oh dear, what the fuck is going on here?
True.
That was fairly comfortable, wasn't it? I mean, I think that was as well managed a game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the feedback at halftime, but fuck me, I was back in 2018, bro. Tell you, I was here just chilling out. I was just trying to enjoy my fucking Sunday afternoon. Do you know what I mean? Feet up. But I mean, anyone who's upset with that, just remember when we were shit. We used to put 18 men behind the ball, try and slow you down, try and stagnate it. It looks really good for a half, but once the other team and you tire because that pressure's so hard, you usually get found out, and we found them out, and it was almost a training ground. I can't honestly. I'm not bigging this performance up, but that fourth quarter, I think I'm going back to West Coast last year where it looked like a training ground exercise. Yeah. Looked like it was a captain's run. I was waiting for Mark Murphy to come out and just be like, "Right, lads, we're doing a captain's run." What a performance. And you know what? This game means something to me because I feel like this is a level. Like, it's a flip. We used to be them.
Yeah.
They used to be us. And that makes me so happy because that's the ground game for me. Every time we played Richmond round one, you had all the hope, and then you realised there was a level that you didn't have. And we showed that tonight, and I'm proud of them, boys. I'm proud. Really proud of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many storylines. You've got depth in all positions. You've got the luxury of resting TDK and making sure his body's right, exactly how we sort of spoke about it over the last few weeks, and why it's important to have Pito on the list the way that we do. You got guys who are not in the side who are probably good enough to be in the side, putting pressure on those that are in the side right now. And then you've got this supreme confidence with the group. It really did feel like watching the script completely flipped on what it used to be. It truly did.
Yeah, I have no complaints from the first half. Like, if you've ever watched football before or any other sport, good sides play bad sides. You defend, you take away space. And bravo, Richmond. You absolutely executed that game plan. But there's a level. Class players, Cripps, when he has his moments, he breaks the game open. Pitnet's follow-up work was sensational. Walsh was sensational. And then, you knew it was right when players like Fantasia and Fogarty were awarded by being front and centre. And that was great to see. And, in the end, it was only one man won it, Pom Cotter, Sealer. The cheeky cunt even had a smile this time. First goal, dare I say it, he gave me a bit of a celebration.
He gave this one a little bit of that.
Yeah. Sneaking in. Second goal, miserable as shit. But the first goal, I was happy. But now, let's be honest, this is showing us where we are. You've seen this weekend, good sides lose to very poorer sides. It's a tough league. And Richmond it reminded me of, was it 2017 where we were leading till 3/4 time and they took the piss in the fourth? It reminded me of that. They managed to keep the momentum. But once we worked it out, it was game over. And you know what? They showed you why we're second on the ladder and they're second bottom.
Yeah,
That last
absolutely.
half was as one-sided as a game you'll see.
Yeah. I always felt for us to go to another level, we needed to be able to win 5 games in a row. We hadn't seen that in a very long time. We've just done it again. 5 wins in a row on the trot. After that loss to the Swans, I think it was. Now what? Just chip away? Like, where's your head at now with where things are at?
I think it's really simple, and it's learning from Sydney this week. You will win games no matter what you do if you can execute what you do. Yeah. If you start getting into tippy-tappy and playing your way and trying to appease the opposition, you're going to come unstuck. The big thing for the Blues is what's really reassuring is the first quarters over the last couple of weeks, they've set a standard. Mm-hmm. They've given themselves not too much work to do. And it's that gear now, and you're seeing that gear shift. And I don't even think Carlton hit 5th gear today. Don't want to be cocky. I still, watching how they played that second half, I felt there's another gear to go that needed to be. And I think that's a huge thing. But that turnover game in that first half, no one's going to talk about it because people were too busy crying. We were punishing a side that was not willing to commit men forward on turnover. And you ain't going to have it as hard as... That's probably harder than playing a Sydney, because Sydney are going to commit men on the overlaps. Richmond were clever. They didn't. They had their 4 players go long. We're sat behind. Phenomenal to see for the Blues, because that training, Voss will have taken something out of that and said, these boys can do it. These boys can attack the ball. And they're going to have to do that against good teams. But it's just, Terry, just do what you got to do now. Like, just keep winning games. Sounds simple, but play your system. Don't buy into it. And the more we can do this, what we saw today, start talking the F word, flag.
I can't tell you. Even when the Tigers got it to within a kick, I think it might have been, or 2 kicks, there was at no point during that game where I had the worry or the stress. It's such a new experience nowadays, because I know to beat us, I think Vossi said it a few weeks ago, to beat us, you have to be really good for a long time in the game. You have to be good for 4 quarters. And there's just this new found belief that even if we're not dominating on the scoreboard, we are not far away from turning a game on its head.
Spawn. And you know, I think the biggest question mark of any side that goes shit to good, and let's be honest, we've been a joke for all but 2 years of the last 15. Let's be honest. When you go from that, it's winning these games where you can get dragged into a shit fight. And there were stages in that first quarter, particularly, you could see these boys remembered shit fights.
Yeah.
And it was quite hard for them to avoid the shit fight. But that third quarter, Cripps leading by example, who's the master of his shit fight. He was like, right, we're going to get this on the outside. We're going to play football. And how many times have we done these fan cams playing a side like that who were better than us? And once football started happening, we didn't have an answer. We could keep it tight. We could make it boring. We could make it ugly. Once that ball started being free-flowing, it was game over. And towards the end, it was like... I've never felt this. I actually started to feel sorry for him. Reminded me of watching, as a young boy, Man United beat Ipswich 9-0. And I remember at 5, I actually felt sick watching it, even though I was happy. Felt a bit like that. I was like, fucking hell. Like, it's kind of piss-taking now when you've got Raz smothering. I mean, there was that kick that Chincotta did where he kicked it down the line and he nearly marked his own mark. It was really bad, that 4th for them. But, you know, fair play to the boys. You've got to beat what you got to do. And you know what? Next week, a chance to write off a team. That's where the Blues are now. Let's start writing off these fucking mouths. Yeah. Let's start just underlining you can't win. Don't want to hear anything about BWS as well. Bottle jobs. Don't want to hear anything this week. Oh, the good. Kingsley plays sexy football. Canelio's Italian and my uncle is. Fuck them. This is war now. We're in the mix. So let's not waste our energies for the next 8 weeks going, Dacos doesn't win contested ball. Ha, 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 Collingwood. Let's focus where it needs to be, these boys, because we're We're not playing for little one-upmanship anymore. We're not playing for, I hope we beat Collingwood once this year. We're actually playing for something that actually matters, that gives people give a shit about a flag. So I want to hear none of this nonsense. They do this, they do this. Focus on us. And if we can focus on us, we're fucking bringing this home. I'm telling you now, the Blues and we all collectively focus on what we do as opposed to what everyone else does. No one's fucking taking offers. This is ours.
Let's bring it home. Football's coming home.
Mate, it's fucking coming, mate. It's coming. Telling you, we've got the Yorkshire flag there flying high. We are bringing this home. So let's do it, man. And you know what? There's going to be peaks and troughs. We ain't going to win every game. Right? We ain't. But you know what? Get behind these boys because they're creating something special. We are actually in the fucking mix, Terry. We are a legitimate, bona fide chance of winning this stupid fucking competition. It's in our hands. Let's fucking bring it back, man, where it belongs. Icon Park, end of September, us all having beers, watching them fuckers lift it up.
Can't wait. Can't wait. We've got a bumper Monday tomorrow. Ratings tomorrow. You ready? Can you be ready by tomorrow?
Mate, if these boys can get up and win a fucking game, of course I can. Okay. Tell you what, anything these fuckers need, they've got. Let's fucking win this thing, man. I want this thing fucking back here.
Well said. Let's do it. Pommy, love your work. Thanks for the watch along. I'm sure it was fun, and I'll speak to you soon.
Much love, everyone. Thank you for joining me. See you tomorrow.
Young Zachary.
How are we, Terry?
Hey, how good's our team, mate?
How good? How good? Well, where do we start? I mean, good win. I mean, we were expected to beat them. I mean, coming out, TDK. I reckon it was on purpose. I don't reckon he was injured. I reckon he was being rested because it said that he was being managed. And Pitnet came in the side, he didn't have a good first half. And then in the second half, he got settled in and, he did well. I think he got 17 disposals and he set up a goal. So, he came in and he did his thing. When you saw that when Tom the Koken came out, were you like a bit, it's a good idea? Did you see like, it's a good time to rest him? What did you kind of see?
Mate, I wasn't worried at all. I think you and I might have had this conversation recently. The reason why we're in a great situation right now is because we can do what we did today. We can rest Tom if he's a little bit sore, keep him fresh, bring in Pitto. It was so funny. I was sitting amongst a bunch of people today in the first quarter. There was a conversation going on about how, we look so slow with Pitto. Then all of a sudden in the third quarter, we look so fast with Pitto. Like, it was funny. But
yeah, I know. It was a mix.
For some reason, he just gets the blame for why we're quick or why we're slow. I think it's the most weird.
I know. It's very weird. Whoever rucks, say, Pitnet, Koken, I'm not worried because they're both very good ruckmen. We have a lot of options on who can ruck. If it's the Koken, if it's Pitnet, and it doesn't matter. We won, and it was comfortable. And in that first quarter, when it was a bit of a scrap, and then it was getting a bit close, I wasn't worried. Like, we're second place for a reason, and we have such a good team. Like when the teams came out this week, so Cherry come in, it's just another bonus to the team. And it's just these players coming back. Soon Coptrell's going to come back. And then, and I really think Orazio Fantasia, like, what a game. 4 goals. And I think this was a game where he needed to step up and then he got his confidence back. So how did you see, do you think that, the 4 goals, and it was just, I was so happy for him. Like, when he kicked that first goal, it was so good for him.
I loved it. No, I was happy for him. He needed a breakthrough. I think today was the breakthrough. Gets a bit of confidence. He was another one that was copping a little bit of commentary from. It's actually really weird hearing our own supporters talk about our players sometimes. I think it's really weird. some guy was screaming out behind me, I wouldn't get a game in the third somewhere, but unfortunately I didn't get to see him in the third and the fourth quarter because he left or whatever happened. But I'm happy for him. I am.
Yeah,
and he's
I think
going to make it hard for Potluck to get in.
Yeah, I know. And, if he can keep doing these consistent things every week, that'd be good. I think, what do you call it? Our midfield was so good today. I mean, Cripps, another good game. I think 40 disposals, he kicked the goal, and then he's just in his own world. He's doing his thing. He's so good, Terry. I think he's generally the best player in the competition at the moment. He's just amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got some confidence about we can do it?
100%. We can win the flag. I mean, we're flag favourites. Like, why can't we do it? But at the moment, we're in a war. This competition, like Pommy said, we've got to focus week by week, digest the game, the review, the ratings. We can't just focus on, the team that we have, okay? So we have the Giants next week, right? We can't just say, well, they're coming off a loss, they're going to want to win, just win the game, like we're in a war, we're in a competition, we are hunting this flag down. Like, this is war, Terry. And, it was an overall really good performance. And I think, there's nothing else to really say. Go Blues. And this is our competition, Terry. Start using the F word, flaggers.
Zach, see you next week. Go Blues.
See you next week. Go Blues.
See you, mate. Little legend. Hey, we've got a few new members of the channel. Jojo and Bailey, Winter, got Colin Rout. Damien gifted 10 Blue Abroad memberships. Thank you very much. If you are one of the 10 people that receive one of those memberships, give a big thank you to Damien. Lewis, 28-month member, 96 points from turnover. Wow. Cripps having 40 disposals and a goal. He's in Brownlow form. Walshy class, Fog brilliance. Orazio with 4 goals. Was icing on the cake. Still undefeated while on holiday. Miss you, Taz and everyone. Lewis, we miss you too, mate. Get back safely eventually, but mate, enjoy your trip. Have the best time. Wayne and Pops, let's talk. Hello, mate.
What's up, dude, man? What's going on? Yes. Oh, man, you know that pump-up song that they've got on the replay, right, where it goes, dun, 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 dun. I really need that song. Someone needs to send me to that so we can just bang to that, man. Like, and then that song by Chicane, Don't Give Up, You Got You. Oh, yeah, Pops is with me. He's just behind me there. Say
hello, Pops. Hello, mate.
Great win again.
Great win. Hey, we're good. Malcolm, we're good.
Check out. I'm on a couch. I'm happy as Larry. Got my games. I got my replays. Everything's great, mate. Everything's swell.
I thought we'd win by 5 or 6, but not 10. But anyway, we'll take anything we get.
Dad went 45. I went 65. So I missed the mark by 4 points. I was
not bad. I was thinking it would be like a 38-point win.
Come on.
To be honest, kind of played out exactly how we hoped it would. Yeah, beat a bottom 4, bottom 2 side. They're always going to make it a little bit testy for us at times. They used to be us.
Absolutely.
5-6 years ago, that was us. So it's good to be
I
on this
still get
side.
PTSD.
Nah, you gotta.
Like, I know it's not there, but I just get frustrated. It's like, come on, get in there.
I was so wrapped with Orazio kicking 4. It was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, fan the flames, man. He's too hot.
Yeah.
Oh, that was crazy. I never expected him to kick 4 goals. Now,
so if you've I've got a question. If you've got a little bit of trauma, right? So do you believe we can win a premiership?
Oh, well, it's just the amount of shit that I got back in the day. Like, unfortunately,
I mean, like now, if I said to you, do you think we can win the premiership?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Mate, but by no doubt to the imagination. But it's just like the trauma that's there is like for something completely different. It's because of other issues from other people. So I tried to get rid of that, But that's why I come on here, man. It feels good to be a part of a good community that believes in us for once.
But isn't it nice, Terry, to know that they're going to put their foot on the accelerator 2 or 3 quarters out of 4 if they needed to? So,
absolutely. We've got the gear in us now.
And now that we've got here, I think we can continue all the way. And this is what I kept telling you earlier on when, I used to ring up and say, back in the old days, but it's the same feeling now that I had then. It is the same.
Wow.
It really just feels, you feel elated and you just say, oh, what's going to happen next, But it's just there. And they can. It's a matter of, if we don't this year, it'll be very disappointed. But if it's this year, it'll be fine. But next year, if it doesn't happen this year, but next year, look out. But we're going to be around for 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6.
I'd say
and
even longer.
It's good to see the younger ones signing on for another couple of years. And the old adage is, we are a destination club.
That's right.
Nobody wants to leave.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, Terry.
Absolutely, mate.
Stronger together, isn't it?
No, mate. I love to hear it.
Yeah.
I love to hear it.
Absolutely.
Mens sana in corpora sana.
That's right. Lads, you enjoy your evening. Thanks for
You
calling
too,
up.
Terry, and thank you, the Blue Abroad fans. We love you. And let's go Blues. Let's get them. What's the replay? Do it. Do it. Do it now.
See you, mate. Too good. Hey, got a member. Oh, it's the same account. Absolutely perfect round. Only 2 games to Sydney now. True. Kano, is that you? Became a member. Robbie Varley, 19-month member. We're watching fan cams from Florence. Robbie, call in. Hit the link. I want to talk. If you're overseas, please call. I love it. Kano with a $10 donation says Flaggers 2024. Going to look to book those flights soon. Mate, get it done. If you are in a car right now and it's dark, please come on when you get into the light and just let other people who are ready to come in talk. So anyway, let's move along. I've got Tyler here. Where is he at? Tyler.
Hey, Terry. How you going, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Oh, been a bit of a big week. Had nasal surgery, so Mo's gone for a bit. And
I was going to say, you look a bit younger, mate.
Yeah, I know I do. Just a little bit. But, look, that was a good game. That was a really good game. First half, the second quarter was a bit average, but look, all in all, solid performance. That was a dismantling. That was an absolute dismantling, mate. Absolute dismantling.
Yeah.
Bloody
what were you? I mean, going into the game, what were you looking for? Kind of what you saw, or
I honestly just wanted a complete performance. That's all I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I knew we were going to win. I didn't expect us to blow them out of the water like that and have a third quarter like that, 7-goal quarter, 7 goals in a row. I never expected that. Orazio had a hell of a game. The one player I was really impressed with the most, I don't. In all honesty, I know how I always say Newey every week, but someone different this time. It was Kennedy. Kennedy, 100%. He had a ripper of a game, and then everyone was talking about Newey. Cripps was phenomenal again. I sense a Brownlow coming, Terry. Possibly a Brownlow coming. Another one. Like to see him get that. But look, in all honesty, it was a solid performance. Like, what I liked especially was our ball movement off our turnover game and all of that. We seem to really want to attack. Sometimes really attack the wing. Sometimes we'll cut across into the corridor, and it just looks brilliant. And then especially like you get the likes of Newey and Newey's Boyd's kicking and all of that, lowering the eyes down. That's what I really wanted Carlton to really focus on was just lowering the eyes. Instead of just standing stagnant and all of that in the forward line and then just kicking it to Charlie and praying to God that they actually make a play for the ball, we were actually lowering the eyes, and it didn't matter. Whoever was open to take that shot, take it. So it was great. It was just just a really solid performance.
You know what? I think I see. I could have this wrong. If I've counted this wrong, let me know. I think I see 10 or 11 individual goal kickers. Maybe it's 10.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's happened a couple of times in a row now, and that is a sign of us moving along.
Well, 100%. And the way I say it, this is Carlton's evolution. 100%. This is
11.
We are now going from a good team that we had a good year last year, making finals and all of that. Now we're evolving into a great team. This is where you can be a contender right now. We're in the window for contention 100%. We are now a game and a half, like pretty much out, like with the top two secured practically for the moment. Like, who wouldn't want to be us right now? To be honest, I seriously reckon we could take it to Sydney. I really reckon we could take it to Sydney. Like,
just get that game at the MCG, mate.
Terry, I mean it. I don't want to finish third. I honestly don't want to finish third. I want to finish second. Because if we have to play, say, Collingwood, or who do you reckon could scrape into the top four at the very last minute?
Freo.
Ooh! I would love to play them at the MCG.
Yeah. I think if you look at their draw, quite a few games at Optus.
Yep.
Yeah,
I would love to play them at the MCG. If we were to play Sydney opening game, I'd be very, very concerned. Very concerned at the SCG. They have hardly been beaten at the SCG this year. I don't think they have, actually. I don't think they've been beaten at the SCG. So, but all in all, great game. Like, it's just a solid.
No, they just did. Freo was the first loss.
No, the SCG. Oh, you beauty. But you beauty.
First one in a while, but yeah.
But like, just in all honesty, it was just a really solid performance. And I don't know who you pick, but obviously you pick Cripps as best on ground. But doing a bit, you got to give it to Foggy, I reckon.
Mate, it's hard. You got Walsh, 26 possessions, 10 tackles, 2 goals. Cripps,
yep,
unbelievable. Cripps will be player of the game. Nick Newman, 28 possessions, 14 marks, 700 meters gained. Then you got to start talking about Orazio, Fogarty.
Yeah, Kemp as well. Kemp had a good game. Weedery
did have a good game. Yeah,
there's just so like that was just a solid performance, and that's just what we've been waiting for. Is just no matter like there's talk that Kennedy might be a bit injured or something like that. Don't know, because something with his knee, but I would trust that no matter what, we'd bring in George Hewitt straight away.
Yeah,
like we just rotate the sub. Like, and I think that was actually a smart move, bringing sub it off Chair at the very end, get some game, get some games into game time into him and all of that. He had also a really good game as well. Like, what a time to be a Carlton supporter, mate! What a friggin' time to be a Carlton supporter. It's been a long time coming, mate. Long time coming.
Mate, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad we are enjoying this now. These fan cams have taken a different turn over the course of this season. And mate, 100%. I'll see you next week. Hopefully talking about another win.
Oh, let's hope, Terry. Let's hope. Do you reckon TDK will come back next week? You reckon?
I think 100%? So. Yeah. I reckon playing both.
Yeah. Oh, you reckon?
For Briggs, it worked last time really well.
Yeah. Okay. Fair call. I reckon so.
We'll see.
All right. Well, catch you, Terry.
See you, mate. All right. Ed. Hello, mate.
Hey, mate. How are you?
Bleeding blue over here, mate. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's starting to get pretty real, isn't it?
It's
starting to feel like all the stars are aligning, and obviously the ladder looks the way it does, which is really pleasing. I think, I mean, earlier in the year when we used to have little blitzes with teams like we had in the third quarter, it used to be really pleasing, but it felt somewhat out of control. Now it feels like we just absorb the pressure we need to, and then when the time is right, we go bang. And there's something different about the way that we're waiting for that moment to then just play that really, Cripps calls it, powerful footy, exiting out the front of stoppage. I sat there in the first half and I thought to myself, Richmond have been pretty competitive here and their pressure's good, but it's coming. Like we're just going to do what we need to do, and once they get tired, which they will, we'll have our quarter where we just blow this thing apart, and we basically had a whole half of it. And just the way that certain characters are bobbing up, which is what happens in really good teams. For Fogg to kick 3, Orazio to kick 4, that's what could happen in a granny. Someone really bizarre has the game of their life and takes home the Norm Smith. That's the type of thing that happens. So we've just got winners on every line, and I'm really intrigued that you mentioned Pito and just as the last call ended, because I think that's what we've got to start looking at now. There's another 6 or 7 games, whatever it is. We're going to have to start tinkering with all the different pieces. The Pito one is it's super interesting. But yeah,
it's such a luxury. It's gone from a little bit of uncertainty as to what it was. Now it's a pure luxury. I mean, Tom's obviously got more scope, probably got a higher ceiling, definitely got a higher ceiling than Pito, but Pito being on the list helps Tom stay fresh. It's just not something we've been able to do ever really with this club, and it's just the way that we manage these particular situations is totally different. And now if Tom plays next week, I mean, he's had a week off. He's fresh. He'll be springy, and he's strong as well. It is a luxury now for us.
And Pito's really shown himself the type of player that can miss 5 AFL games and come in and be serviceable. Like he doesn't need that ramp up much anymore. I mean, this will be explored a lot, but I loved the way Darcy played Grundy yesterday for Freo, and you just get the sense that Pito might need to be involved in that attack on Grundy. But yeah, I mean, when I saw him come out with the team on the way to the game today, I was on the train. I thought, I don't want to see Tom miss, but I love that we're in a position where I've seen this and I'm not worried. It's just like, yep, this is what needs to happen for the midterm benefit of the team. So yeah, it's a pretty good spot, isn't it, mate?
I think when Harry kicked his goal in the 4th, I just I've been taking moments lately, just looking around and just remembering where I was sitting for certain games when we were getting belted, and I don't know, just getting a little nostalgic. Like, we haven't even done the big thing yet. We haven't won the flag yet, but like, we're good and we're reliable.
You got to enjoy where we're at now.
Yeah.
And yes, we all want the flag, and trust me, I want it bad, but you still got to enjoy right now and going to games at the MCG on a Sunday and feeling like we're going to win, and then beating an opposition by 10 goals. Hey, I know that it's being talked about. It's all over the internet and the social media and whatnot. But what about Patrick Cripps? Hey, how are we going to talk about this? How are we going to talk about this bloke when he finishes? I mean, if he jags another Brownlow this year, which is looking like it's becoming more likely. I don't know if he's Dacos' favourite, but it's becoming more likely that Cripps will be up there. If he jags another Brownlow and he leads us to a premiership, he'll be in the discussion of the best blue ever.
Yeah. Well, Joe came on last week and sort of raised it as well. This is the biggest drought in the club's history.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure John Nichols led us to a flag with, after the previous longest drought in the club's history. So the fact that he's even in the conversation is, I think, incredible. But if this team goes on and wins, I don't know, getting carried away, but if they win 2, 3, 4, then you have to put him in there. I'm really not sure, because I never watched John play, and Jezelenko as well, and I know there's a lot of people that watch that there, but the fact that the older generation are saying things like he is as good as these other leaders that we've had speaks volumes.
Yeah, and he's becoming a better leader. He's starting to involve other players. He's really grown into that captaincy role. I mean, if he takes home 2 Brownlows, and captains a flag, I can't wait for these conversations to be real,
Mhm.
and yeah, I think he's on his way to being in that conversation. You always look at it, you always look retrospectively differently at the players. He's in the middle of his career, so it's harder to talk about him. But when we reflect on it, when it's all said and done, it might be interesting to see where he stacks up.
Yeah, mate. Enjoy the win. Enjoy the replay. Enjoy your
too.
Sunday, and we'll do it all again. I think we've got a game on. Is it Saturday?
Saturday Arvo. I'm pretty
Saturday
sure.
Arvo.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
Away days.
yeah.
Too good. Thanks,
All right,
Ed.
mate. Have a great week. Cheers.
You too. See ya. Joe Adamo, you're cooking up a storm.
Oh, you've got me cooking tonight. That's how fucking bored I am this week. But I've just moved on already. Don't worry about the KO minis and the replays. Just get into dinner. Why not? I'll show you. Actually, I'll show you what I got here. So it's.
Sure, what are you dealing with?
How do I turn the camera around to show my age? I don't even know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Yeah. There you go. Nice little porterhouse tonight. Little fucking
Beautiful.
cucumber salad. Lovely. You've actually got me at the worst time, but that's all right.
This is great. This is authentic. This is organic. This is real.
No, I'm glad you told Ed or reminded Ed that I was the one last week that said that about Cripper, because tonight solidified it. All he has to do is win one flag, and he surpasses absolutely everyone else on the list for me. We are watching. I said it last week. We're watching fucking greatness. Like, this guy is a joke. He's a joke of a footballer. Joke. Forget about leadership and captain. Look at him as a footballer first. He is ridiculous. What he is able to do is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Back-to-back 40 possession games. That's back-to-back 3-vote games again, coming off the bye. He is on track for his second Brownlow. He's on track to captain us to a flag this year. Number 17, biggest drought in the club's history. He will be the number one Carlton player when it's all said and done. Guarantee you. It's greatness.
He is great. I mean, it's just it's so crazy to think we added Adam Chera into the mix today. He played really good. I thought he might take a few games to get his touch back. He looked strong. Walsh is hitting a scoreboard. Elijah didn't really lose much of what he brings to the side. I thought maybe that might have been the case with Chera. Young Lockie Cowan just continues on. I mean, this is as strong as a group as we've seen.
I've never seen a more cohesive, fluid. There's so many superlatives you could use for this group. I've just never seen a more complete group.
Yeah.
Play for this club. I just haven't. In my time, I have not seen it. And I don't know. I don't know how, as a supporter now, you're not just waiting for September 28th. I couldn't give a fuck about the rest of the home and away. I couldn't care, Tez. I don't care. Just get it done. There's one day in mind. That is it. There's one day on the calendar I'm looking at, because it's going to happen. Like, you can say what you want. You can be as humble as you want. Fuck that. It's happening. We're that team. It's happening, Tez. This is it, mate.
This is us.
This is it. How did you feel watching that? Because obviously you got to take the opposition into account, right? They're dog shit, Richmond, which is great to see. But in terms of the way that they were able to, especially early on, put some pressure on us, were you ever sitting there at any point worried that we weren't going to put them away at some point?
No, honestly, no. Like, even when they pegged it back, similar to what happened with Geelong, I was like, we're like, it was frustrating a little bit, but not to the point of we're going to lose this game. There was such an assertiveness and such a, I don't know, it's like an aura. It's hard to explain. It wasn't based off anything I was seeing on the field. It was just I could see it in their body language. Like, they know. Like, it's really strange. I guess when we listen to, supporters who watch the great Carlton teams, they would say, oh, you just knew. I never really understood what that meant. Like, oh, you just knew. But you just knew. What else can I say? Like, you just know you're better.
And right now, you fucking know.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
We have got gears that no other team, including Sydney, no other team in the comp has. We didn't even show half of what we could do today, and we blew them out of the water in 7 minutes in the third quarter. 7 minutes is all it took. Yeah, regardless of opposition, we did it against Geelong. We did it against poor opposition now. We can do that against any single side in the AFL whenever we want.
Yeah.
It is scary.
Well, we're coming up to round 17. Talk will be about getting the side settled in the lead up to finals.
Yep.
Of the guys that are not in, where does that conversation sit with you of who, would come in? I think last week a lot of us were saying Chera is that good. Is there anyone else left that is that good that you gotta get him in?
I'll tell you, the only one is Matt Cottrell for me at the moment, just because of how important he obviously is that we've seen. The one that I can see coming out right now, and long term, he's going to be a star. He's going to be a 300-game player for the club. But if it's Cottrell coming in, the only one I see, potentially a Fantasia, but he played again. He solidified some pretty good form today. The 4 on the scoreboard solidified everything else that he's been doing around the ground. But it's probably Ollie at this point if you bring in Cottrell in. I think that's the battle between those two. We can't run with 4 wingers, rotating. We're going to have a midfield group that runs pretty deep. If Cotters comes in, I can see him playing a wing role just because he's running capacity. And Ollie at the moment, I understand the structure, the role that he plays within the structure, but he just stands out a little bit as maybe needing a bit of a rest, or maybe being a little bit underdone versus the rest of the group. So Cotters is the only one. I think the rest have got to earn their spot. Even Chera, he played brilliantly today, but I just worry that balance is going to tip over too far one way. I thought George Hewitt was stiff to be the sub, to be honest. I think he's been pretty good. So It's going to be interesting to see how they flip the magnets and try and maintain the balance we've seen over the last few weeks. But who cares? Doesn't matter. We're going to win the flag, so who gives a shit?
Hey, we've got a bumper marathon Monday coming up tomorrow. Can we talk about that?
Monday Mayhem on Blue Abroad tomorrow. Yeah, we got fucking 4.5 hours of straight content live.
Yeah. I haven't really told anyone, I haven't made it official, but 5 p.m. ratings, 7 p.m. BA show, 8 p.m. Almost Blues Brothers. It's like a full marathon tomorrow for all us sickos.
Yeah. Forget about Fox Footy Super Saturday. Eat your heart out. We got genuine Monday mayhem, and I think we've got 2 more of these coming up with the Sunday games. So it's going to be, it'll make a bit of a night of it. It's good. Bit of an occasion on Blue Broad. It's nice.
I can't wait. Joe, well, how do you cook your steak before I let you go?
Yeah, no, just a little medium rare, sort of on the rare side. Bit of garlic salt and some oregano before you chuck it in the pan. Nice.
Love it.
Make sure you oil your pan, and I use a cast iron pan as well, which really caramelizes and sears the top of it. This is where we're at. We're talking about fucking steak, mate. Who cares about the footy? September 28th it should be the next time that we actually care about the football. That's it.
Amazing. He's cooking steak on the fan cams. Steak on the fan cams. He's cooking steak on the fan cams.
All right, mate. I'll let you do it.
All right, mate. Take it easy.
Go.
Steak on the fan cams. Hey, Stephen Curtis. Thank you for becoming a member of the Blue Wall channel. If anyone wants to become a member, by the way, you need to be on a computer, not a phone. There's a join button next to the subscribe button. And there's 3 different tiers there if you are curious. Kane Everett, this is a 43-month member, 90 days until number 17. Sandy Falcone, a 14-month member, confidence in maturity and unity, stronger together. Love it, mate. Aiden, you here? You are here. Let's go. Let's talk.
Hey, man.
How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Good performance today. Just professional. Get the job done. And that's it. 2 weeks in a row I've been relaxed, so didn't really have to scream as much. So it was pretty good. Very good. I loved it. Good. Besides the first 2 quarters, a bit edgy, but second half will just put my feet up on the chair and that's it.
I think we've got to learn that footy is a game of 4 quarters. Pommy and I have this running gag. Not a gag, it's like a joke. It's like a thing we laugh at, right? when I do my halftime post, it's just like this thing. You check the halftime post, you check the comments, and it's just meltdowns. And people just say things in the moment because they get so excited or they get so angry. And it's like you got we are a team that manages games now. We kind of like we're learning when to absorb and when to punish.
Yeah, I think it comes in waves, to be honest with you. I feel like today we kind of what do you call it? Like we were trying to ease into it a little bit. I feel like because Richmond, what I noticed, they kept clogging up the corridor, and then once the corridor came a little bit open, and when we had when we were able to get more space in around the ground, that's when we hit our straps. But yeah, I feel like it takes this group not a split second to get your straps going. I feel like they peak at the right time. Like when the time's right, that's when we need to peak. Like for example, that third quarter. But yeah, on Twitter, I kind of said before halftime that Pito, he's trying to ease into it a little bit. We're not winning enough clearances in that second half. We practically dominated the clearances, the stat sheet, everything. And what was our turnover stat, if you have? Because people kept complaining, we don't score enough off turnover when Pito's in the side. I feel like we scored a lot of turnover and rebound today.
Mate, unconfirmed, but someone wrote a comment earlier and said that we had scored 93 points off turnover. Can the chat verify that? Because if that's the case, yeah, I had guys near me saying we're too slow with Pito in the team, and then in the third quarter, it's like I sort of turned around back and gave it back. I'm like, gee, we look pretty quick with Pito in the team. It's not Pito. Yeah. It's his midfielders.
It's not Pito. It's actually because we were texting a couple of weeks ago, and I said when Sard and Gov come back, I feel like that's when people will stop talking about Pito's the problem. Pito's the problem. As you said, it is the midfielders. Like the midfielders, they kind of didn't work as hard as they did in the second half, but again, Pito, he just has one job, and he's not like TDK where he's that second hand midfielder. It's a different type of ruckman, but he did a lot right today. I feel like he set up a couple goals, he threw his body around, and yeah, I feel like he did amazing. But I don't know about next Saturday because I'm pretty sure TDK will be fit by then.
Yeah,
but I don't know about Kennedy either because he did his knee apparently.
Yeah, what happened? I don't remember seeing it happen. I saw some people talking about it in the comments, but I don't actually know what happened.
I don't know. I saw a little highlight. He was in a ruck contest, and then I'm pretty sure he fell, and then I think someone fell on his knee, and then he was just grabbing onto his knee. He looked in a bit of pain, but that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. But hopefully he's good to go this week. I assume that he won't play next week. If it's a knee, they'll probably give him a week. But yeah, how are you feeling about next week against GWS? What do you think,
mate? Bring it on. They've got to try and beat us. We're rolling. We're getting better. We're getting settled. Inshallah, good health continues, and away we go, mate.
Is that the time you reckon we should play the two rucks? Because I feel like you said it before. It worked last time. Give it another go.
You know what I think? I reckon they know more than what any of us do, and I trust that they'll get the call right. And if it's both of them, we'll be all right. If it's one of them, we'll be all right. I would think Tom would come back because he's just being rested, unless there's an actual injury that they haven't told us about. But if he's sore and he gets a rest, great. To be able to do that at this point in the year, knowing that you're going to have a pre-finals bye as well, and to keep Tom fresh. And it's probably less about this year and more about the longevity of his career. Like it's going to add years onto his career if we can manage him mid-season. So I'm happy.
He's still what, 24, 23, 24? He's still a baby. He's still a baby. So yeah, I reckon, he's needed a rest. Like I'm like, thank God that not that he went out, but like he needed this rest because he's played every single minute of the whole year. And if we need him next week, we need him. If we don't, then just ease him back into it. But yeah, I don't know about the selection table because if Cottrell's fit and if Martin's fit, it'll be a bit tricky. But
you know what? Yeah, it doesn't matter who's in for me. Honestly, it doesn't matter who's in. We'll just. That's not our job to pick the team. Our job is to just get behind them now. That's it. You know.
But yeah, I'm on to next week. I reckon it'll be a good couple of weeks. We are slowly getting there. Slowly. I just can't wait for
Mate.
Collingwood week by week.
1 week at a time. Good stuff. Thanks, Aiden.
Thanks, man. See ya.
See you, man. Weldy. Hello,
G'day,
mate.
Terry.
How are you?
Good, mate. Good day to be at the football.
It was cold. It was wet. It was freezing.
Yeah, bit of everything. This is the grind now. I think you can see the shift from the first third of the season from us finding our game, trying to get things, piece it all together, get a few wins, not convincing. The last 5 weeks, they're in their groove. This is the groove now. So they're in a flow. This is real. This is real. There's shades of the great Carlton teams of the 70s, 80s, and 90s in this team in terms of their credentials, their want, their hunger, the moments. I think you summed it up really well as far as when things aren't going well, they do turn it up a gear when they want to. They're traits that the old teams used to have. They just turn it on when they wanted to, and they just gap you. They put a gap in you, and that's it. It's over. So, yeah, it's good to watch football in a pretty relaxed state, I guess.
Yeah.
I really love today just the spread of goal kickers. Harry and Charlie weren't prominent, and they didn't have to be. I mean, they did their job. They pitched in and played their role, but the players that perhaps don't kick as many goals every week are the ones that stepped up, and that's all you can ask for, and that's what good teams do. So I was really impressed with them, and I thought the backline Sard was just unbelievable. His rebound, his feel for the game, everything. Just Kemp, McGovern, Wiedering, just a rock early on and throughout. Bring it on. Bring any team on.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I think probably a couple of months ago we were talking about, part of the next layer was you want to start seeing us bury teams win by, 10-goal margins. We've done it 2 weeks in a row now. You also just mentioned there about, the teams of yesteryear, and I guess I want to touch on that a little bit more because it's all so new. This is the first time I'm watching these comments from people like yourself who were around when we won a flag or flags. It's the first time that there's no doubt about the fact that there's some similarities. So it's it's really exciting, but also there's still a lot to happen. So what do we do now? What?
Yeah, well, that's it. And all you can do is enjoy the ride, win. Enjoy every win. Nothing's guaranteed, of course, as we all know. I mean, we've still got to earn the right, and I think you hear Voss say that quite a lot. And whilst it's good to be in the position that we are, we're not entitled to anything until end of round 23 or 24, whatever it is. That will tell us where we finished at the home and away season, and then we reset for a new season, if you like. So yeah, look, it's great to win, and Richmond are struggling, but I think what my experience with this has been, you go to the football knowing that your team's going to, at worst, put in a pretty decent performance and be in the game, but know that they're probably going to win more often than not. So I haven't had that feeling since probably late 90s, early 2000s, knowing that you'd rock up and we're going to win. So, yeah, it's just enjoy it. I mean, that's all you can do. And I think Pommy touched on it earlier as well. We've just got to enjoy these wins. This is a different team. This team's matured. They've found their groove, and now it's just about enjoying it and playing week by week. What I'm keen to see is now us managing our list. And that's not arrogance. I think it's just probably looking at opportunities to rotate players, freshen them up wherever we need to. But I think it's not. I wouldn't be doing that all the time, but I'd be being very selective on who I'd manage. But I think they pulled the right trigger with Chera and managing him and bringing on Hewitt, freshen up our midfield for sure.
Mate, let's enjoy it, as you said. Saturday night will come around before we know it, and we've got big game against the Giants.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a new challenge. It's another challenge, and but this team's made of the right stuff. But looking forward to it.
Can't wait. I'll see you around, Weldy.
Good stuff. Thanks, Terry.
See you, mate. All right, Jeff.
G'day, mate. How you doing?
Jeff from Thailand. How are you, mate?
Yes. Making pizzas, mate.
Oh, wow. What do you got?
Just made a pepperoni. I'm going to make a Penang curry pizza next.
Oof. I'm liking this new cooking vibe on the fan cams. It's fascinating.
Sorry about that. I thought I was going to miss you, but we've got a pretty good crew out here, friends, sitting down by the lake, having a few wines and pizzas and what have you. And, so I thought I'll just keep it on. I've just got the pizza in, so we're right. I didn't actually see much of the game today because the AFL app here today was on and off. So I listened to it on the radio and watched it, but it was a danger game. I always said all week it was a danger game, and when they swapped Pitto out for TDK out for Pitto, I thought, ooh, this will be interesting because we haven't won many with Pitto, and Richmond are dangerous always. No matter where we are on the ladder, we always like Collingwood. We always have a good stoush.
Yeah. No, look, I think the big thing about Pitto in the conversation is when we've lost, we've also been missing Sard, McGovern, Fogarty, a couple of others. I thought Pitto was, he had 17 touches, 22 hit outs. I thought he was just strong all day. Nank's a pretty good ruckman as well, to be fair.
Absolutely. Yeah, very strong. But good call to swap out. Give TDK a rest. It's great. Luxury. It's a luxury to do that. How do you think the game went otherwise? It looks like the last quarter, I didn't see it, but it blew out quite a bit.
Mate, honestly, it was the way in which supporters used to describe the Premiership quarter was exactly how it played out. We sort of toyed with them a little bit, got to the third. It got a little bit tricky early in the third, and then before you know it, bang, 6 or 7 in a row, one after the other, just carnage. And
very good signs. That's a lot of control too. I thought Newman played well earlier that I saw. Mate, thanks for the pins. Arrived really.
You got them.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated. Yeah, I'm surprised how quickly they came. I've got one that's gone to the New Zealand. It still hasn't arrived yet. So I don't know how that works, but I'm glad you got them.
Get that abroad thing going, mate. That's fantastic. But oh, look, that's good. I'll watch the game, and thanks very much for the pins.
Good on you, mate.
Baggers, enjoy the show. Thanks, Terry. And let's keep it up, eh? Let's keep it up. We're on a good thing, but we got to watch these 50-50 games. We got to watch them.
Absolutely, mate. Good on you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
Cheers,
everyone. Hello, Mila.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
What are you up to?
Just watch the game.
Oh yeah? Were you at the footy today, or were you watching from home?
From home.
Tell me everything. What did you think of the game?
I think we played pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who do you think was the standout player for us? Who were some of your favourites?
Probably Cripps.
Yep.
And Walshy.
Pretty special players, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Dad? What did Dad think?
I don't know.
Was he up? Was he excited? Was he screaming?
Dad's here.
Hi, Dad. How are you?
There you go, mate. Yeah, she stayed home today because she's been a bit sick, but I took Xavier to the game.
Yep.
And it was interesting first half, but we got going in the second. It wasn't. What was the pressure rating and stuff? I couldn't find pressure ratings and stuff, but
I don't know. I
it
usually
didn't seem
said
like
that
much on the game.
Maybe someone in the chat can let us know if they were watching from home. I was there today. I didn't see the pressure rating, but it sort of felt like they managed the game a bit, just sort of absorbed a lot in the first half. They weren't really looking to run and explode like they were in the second half.
No.
It just kind of, like I said earlier, like what people used to explain to me about the Premiership quarter was kind of what I saw,
Yeah, that's I mean, back in the days in the Princess Park. I mean, I was only young, but I still remember it.
Yeah.
No, she's made a couple of notes here. You want to go through your notes?
What do you got, Miller?
There you go. Off you go. Come on, don't be embarrassed. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Review time with Miller. What have you got for me?
It's all you. See you later.
First one, I like the 3 goals from Fogarty.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the second one, Cripps and Walsh was really, really good in the midfield, I think.
Mm-hmm.
3, Waitering did really good in intercept marks, I think.
Yep.
I think Newman did pretty good kicks. And then I think Elijah Hollins and Ollie Hollins did some good pickups in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think all of us in Carlton did really good midfield plays into the forward line.
You know what, Miller? I'm going to ask you a question because I have to figure it out. Who do you think was the player of the game?
I'd say Cripps.
Cripps? All right. I'm going to give it to Cripps. And what about the Doing a Bit award? So this is for someone who wasn't the best on ground, but played a really important role, and you want to give them a little bit of confidence and a bit of a congratulations. Who was the Doing a Bit player?
I don't know.
All right. Maybe I can give you 3 or 4 names. You can tell me which one. All right. I will say to you, out of these 4 players, which one are we going to give Doing a Bit? You're going to give it to Fantasia, Fogarty, Newman, and Walsh.
I'd say Newman.
All right, done. Miller, thank you very much. I'm going to give player of the game to Cripps and Doing a Bit to Nick Newman. You've made my job a lot easier. Amazing. Have a good night. Thanks for calling in, and go Blues.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Love it. Love your work, Miller. A star is born. All right. Let's go for it. Who we got next? Connor. Hey, mate.
Hey.
How are you?
How good are you?
I'm good, mate. What'd you think of the Baggers today?
Oh, fantastic.
Player of the game?
What's the game on home? How do you think of the game?
How did I what, sorry?
How do you think of the game?
Mate, I thought they were professional. I thought they were clinical. I thought we absorbed when we needed to absorb. And then I thought we attacked well when we needed to attack. And I'm just happy that we're a good side, mate.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I was the same. I was surprised at how many goals we got.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Hey, I got to ask you, you got confidence that we can do it and go all the way?
What do I do?
It's going to be a big party, isn't it?
100% confidence we got next week.
Yeah, mate. Well, we will see.
I was like surprised it's really happening, and I'm like 100% sure that might be possible, but 50% 50-50 chance.
50-50?
50-50 chance we might win it, depending
Okay.
on what brand we play on. I'd say 50-50%.
Amazing. Well, mate, listen, I think we've just got to keep rolling. Teams have got to start being better for 4 quarters to beat us, and we're just going to lap it up every week, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah, definitely.
Good on you, Connor. Thanks for calling in, mate. Go Blues.
Go Blues.
See ya. All right. Hello.
Look.
Hey, look, it's the Sisterly Creations. How are ya? Check it out.
Please go louder. Go. Say louder. Hi. Say go Blues. Go Blues.
Go Blues. How are we, ladies?
Oh, that was. Yeah, we're good, Tez. We're good. How was it? How was the game?
It was bloody cold. That's what it was. It was cold.
My brother was telling me how cold it was.
Yeah.
You're Soraya.
How are ya?
You're Soraya.
Hey, go the Blues.
Say, go Charlie.
Go Charlie.
Go Charlie.
Is Charlie Kerner your favorite player?
Yes.
Yeah, I think me too.
Yeah. Yeah, so cold one. It was that third quarter, Premiership quarter. That reminded me of the. I'm not going to say the good old days because these days are pretty good too.
You know what? I'm glad you said that.
That took me back in time.
We were talking. What's that?
It's my birthday.
It was her birthday. She's saying.
Your birthday? Happy birthday! How old are you?
4, 3.
You're 3. Yeah.
3? Wow, I'm 10 times your age.
Yeah.
Amazing. Got the confidence.
Yeah,
No, I was saying, talking about the good old days, it's like, no, these are the good new days. We don't need to talk like, obviously we'll talk about the good old days forever because they were awesome, but we finally have the new days right now that are also as great as what they used to be.
That's right. That's like we are playing so well and so much confidence. And I get where people are saying they've still got that nervousness. I find myself still getting nervous as well, but I've got full confidence that we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, full confidence that we can do it. So, yeah, it was great game. That third quarter was amazing. Oh, Cripps in that third quarter. Far out.
Champion, right?
Oh, and that goal. There's a photo that's come out of him after that goal. It's a great photo, actually. Yeah.
No, look, it's just exciting. It's exciting that we're enjoying it again after begging for it.
Yeah. BT at his best again tonight. I nearly threw something at the TV.
What did he say?
He was saying in the third quarter when we were on a run, he basically was saying that our run basically started from that goal that was touched. I think it was kicked to Harry. And it was touched. The kick to Harry was touched, and then he got the goal.
Right.
And BT was like, you know, oh, all of this has started from that, you know, that goal that was touched, and just insinuating, like, you know how he is. And I was just like, oh, seriously, like, yeah.
Salty old.
Keep going. They're
fan.
getting scared of us. Keep going.
It's true. What about you, young lady? What did you think?
I think it was really good, the game. I think Cripps played really well, and Sam, yeah, I think it was really good.
Hey, guess what?
But
I've been to 2 games wearing these 2 bracelets, and we've won both of them. Never seen a loss.
That's pretty good record.
Good
Yeah.
luck.
Thanks so much for making them for me.
It's okay.
And Zach's 150th. We actually Rachel reached out to us and asked us to make a whole heap for the family that were going today to watch his game. So that was pretty
Wow.
special. The girls, I've got Phoebe here as well. Say hi.
Hey, Phoebe.
Hi. They were pretty rapt to be making those for the family. Yeah, no, it was good win. Good win.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, let's enjoy it. Have a good Sunday, and we'll do it all again next Saturday.
We will. Take it easy.
See ya.
Say bye.
Bye, girls.
Bye.
Go Blues.
Go Blues. How good. I think we've got a debutante coming on now. Wow, Saba. This is big time, mate. Making his
How's it
debut on
going?
the Pancakes. Mate, wow. Wow, what gives us the honor?
Mate, it is good to be here. I mean, obviously we've been winning for a few weeks now, but I thought tonight nice and early. You know, it's not 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, prime hour for fan cams.
Mate, life's all about timing, and I reckon you've nailed it.
Yep, 100%. I think I sort of just have to start with obviously we know the goal kickers, very widespread of goal kickers today. But I was looking at the AFL app, right? And there is 13 players with 7 or more score involvements, and 12 of them are Blues. So
Wow.
so I think that's the more like the bigger talking point if you look beyond the goals, because there's like Newman with 10 score involvements, Sard with 7. So like I think that's the real positive, the huge plus for us is that like I think in the second half, more notably, you could see players from the weaker side of the field like McGovern and those sorts pushing higher up the ground. So it seems like they all had the message that, you know, the game was shifting and we needed to apply a bit of a higher press. So I think that's where the Newman type, the Sard type, really, that's where they were banking in those score involvements. So I think that was a huge plus. Like, what was your perspective on that pushing up of the defenders?
Well, we've seen it for a few weeks now. I
Mhm.
think we saw it really take shape. I think from Port Adelaide, to be honest. I think from memory, I think from Port Adelaide, once Sard got settled back in there with those defenders, I thought the first half for a lot of it, or a good chunk of it, was played in Richmond's half. It was a bit scrappy, and I thought we were just doing our best to absorb. And then you could just see the work rate to, you know, sort of want to explode with our running and our overlap. And once we started seeing that, then we started getting the territory battle in our favor. And then you started seeing us push up the ground and just lock it in there. And I mean, I think you kicked 7 straight in that third quarter. But when these guys get going with those handball chains and the run and carry, it's so exciting. You know, a lot of the conversations we used to have only 2-3 months ago was about, oh, you know, there's no speed in this team. It's like, yes, there is. We just haven't been able to unlock it. And I think we're starting to see us unlock it. And all of a sudden we look quicker.
I think a bit of credit sort of needs to be paid to Richmond in the first half, because we just could not break them down one bit whatsoever. A lot of slow play. I think in the first quarter it was all played on the broadcast side wing. Like we couldn't switch the play or anything of that sort. But I think that handball game, second half, third quarter, that's how it happened. There was, I think, there was a kick-in goal in the third quarter. I don't know who kicked it, but Cripper got a free in the middle of the ground for a hold, and that was like a chain, and up the other end we kicked a goal. We just walked it in. So I think that was it was really positive to see that shift with the midfielders just working a little bit harder sort of run at Richmond, because I don't think we did that nearly enough in the first half.
Yeah. It's so strange to be talking about luxuries that we have
Mhm.
now. I mean, the luxury to bring Chera in to an already dominant midfield and then rest
Yep.
him by subbing him off. The luxury to bring TDK out and rest him and manage him and, you know, bring Pitto in. We've got young kids on the park as well that have played less than, 20, 25 games in a good mix with, experience. Everything just seems to be moving along nicely. I've asked a few people about, the team selection thing. Now, ultimately, we don't know. Club will do it. The coaches will make the call. But of the guys that, have been in this team and are not in this team and are due to get their availability back, who else could you see coming in?
Well, I would have said going into this match, Cottrell for Fantasia seemed like a like-for-like swap, but
Yeah.
with Orazio kicking 4, I mean, no one could have seen that going into the game, and now there's no scapegoat on Instagram in the comments. So who's it going to be this time, eh? But
good call.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's just all positivity, which I think speaks volumes about where the club's at. But I don't know if I feel Ollie could be a little bit vulnerable to the drop, potentially for a Cottrell coming back in. I think Cottrell is someone that they really value highly, and the media love him as well. When he was playing, it was all about Cottrell score involvements and that sort of thing. But outside of maybe Cottrell, there's not too many. Like Jack Martin's going to be pretty stiff, but he may not even be able to get out on the park. So yeah, it's a really good thing that, a few players we were considering as fringe they stepped up today. Next week is a completely different story because a tougher opponent, a bit more formidable. But yeah, I think Cottrell's probably the main one. What did you think of Ollie's game today?
What did I think of Ollie's game today?
Mm-hmm.
Ollie battled around today. I didn't really notice him much now that I think of it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've just come from the ground onto the train, got home. I haven't really had a moment to process individuals. I think the guys towards the top who are our best, they really stood out to me. But now that I think of it, I think he does the right thing when it comes to his running patterns. What you just said there about Cottrell, I think it's a positive in a situation where, like, Ollie's going okay. Ollie's learning the role, playing his craft. He's developing. To get him out of the side for a better option in Cottrell, he's going to make us better. It just means that we're going to be better. I mean, I think as well, to have a situation where I think always is a similar one. If you are kicking always out of this team, you must be playing at a really high level. And I think that is the exciting part. So
could
I don't
you
know.
could you see always getting the boot for a potential outsider looking in?
No, I really can't. I honestly, I can't. He's so clever with his running patterns. He has a really good synergy with his forwards, especially Charlie. And I just think he takes up space where it needs to be taken up, and he creates space where it needs to be created. But listen, like, Jesse's magic, and he's going to be a great player for us. It's just that we can't have him in. And I think Zach Williams as well, his development in this role has created this new conversation of, like, where's Jack Martin going to fit? But it's good.
Yep. And it's the same with Chincotta as well. Like, the midfield just looks completely different now. We wouldn't have seen that coming from a mile away. So I think that also speaks volumes about our growth as a team. It's just these players that have reinvented themselves, and it's just transformed our team as a whole. Just one thing before I leave, because I'm conscious other people are waiting. Charlie today, he had a pretty tough battle, and Richmond stood up pretty well against him. But I just want to go back to the score involvements thing. It seemed like Charlie was out of the game for the majority of the time, but he had only the 7 touches. That's the equal lowest of any Blue on the ground. But he still had 6 score involvements. So even with the very few and far between possessions he's having, he's still, he's still in amongst it, which I think is, when it comes to finals and that sort of thing, he's going to need to remain involved because the competition's going to be tougher. So if you can see him getting score involvements and that sort of thing when he's a bit out of the game or can't score, I think that's going to be a huge plus for us and make it really hard for oppositions to scout and have to deal with us.
It's a good point. I think there's a couple of points to it. Firstly, I think we do not deliver the ball to Charlie's advantage more often than not, and we've got to still work on that. And then secondly, I think this is exactly what you've pointed out, is exactly how his game has evolved. Like, he might not be kicking bags of goals every week. He's kicking 2 or more every week this season. So that floor is rising and that consistency. And, the scoring involvements you just quoted in there, that just tells me that he's becoming a more well-rounded player. And he's not a guy that if he's not kicking goals, he's not contributing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I think that synergy, they love using that word, synergy is really growing with Fogg and Orazio and those sort of guys. You could tell that, a mark wasn't going to be taken with Charlie, with some of our kicking inside 50, but those small forwards, they seem to be getting better. I mean, I don't want to use the Richmond game as a sample, but I think we're getting more output gradually as the season wears on from those guys. So that would indicate to me a bit of an evolution, a bit of adjustment. Yeah. And I think, well, we're going to be the better team for it. We're going to kick another 20 goals, in that case. So hopefully that's what we're seeing next week, Tez.
Absolutely, mate. This is, how old are you?
In my 20s, 21.
21. Wow. This is the best Carlton you've ever seen?
This is the best Carlton I've ever seen. Not second place Carlton ever. So yeah. I don't actually know the highest ranked Carlton I've ever seen. It's probably maybe a 5th or a 4th. Or maybe when we were first after 3 games or some shit, but never this far into the season have I seen Carlton as high as they are. So great time to be alive.
Mate, enjoy it. We look forward to your review, your analysis.
Yes.
When can we expect that? Do you know when you get that up?
Usually Wednesday is the default for me, but it potentially could be a bit later this week because it's a Sunday. Yep.
All right. Well, mate, enjoy. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
No worries. Have a good night.
Go Blues. All right. Jason. Hey, mate.
Hey, Tez.
How are you?
Good, mate. How's things?
Mate, things are good. Where are you calling from?
I'm on the Central Coast in New South Wales.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Mate, talk to me about the game. What'd you see? What'd you like? What'd you not like?
Richmond had us, well, not really had us, but controlled it pretty much, I think, for the first couple of quarters. But after that third quarter, 7 goals, it was all over after that.
We've got a bit of a switch now, don't we?
I think so. Although, saying that, though, it does feel to me, I know a lot of people haven't commented on it, it feels to me like it's 1995 again.
I don't remember 95, but I've got a bit of a picture of it based off what we've done here over the last 6 or so years. I don't know. Do you dare to dream?
I think, well, absolutely. I think we can beat any team in the comp on our day. I was at I took my wife for my birthday when we had to travel to Sydney and went to the SCG with that game that we got towered up. But after that, it's been one-way sailing, so to speak. I reckon we can win it this year for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's a couple of it's 2 10-goal wins in a row. I think somebody wrote a comment earlier. I don't know if this is 100% true, but I'm going to back him in. I think it was Bugs Bell, potentially, that said that our percentage over the last 5 weeks is 160. That was a conversation we had on the team show about, percentage being an indicator of the form. So we're rising. We're getting there.
Absolutely. I think the problem, well, not really the problem, but people just got to take it week by week. Let's not get too far in front. We still got a long time till even the final. So just week by week, you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What I wanted to ask was, who do you think is the best squad? Like, who do you think, if you had everyone available, how close do you think it is now? I think it's pretty close now.
I think it's pretty close now. I think Cottrell and Jack Martin are the two that are, it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard. I know.
Hard. Yeah. It's hard because I'm living in last year potentially. It's as close as it's been. I don't think you can ever have. I don't know if you ever really get your best 22 potential, everyone available. I don't know if that ever happens. It's like perfection. You never really get perfection, but you can get as close to it as possible. I think this is as close to the best team that we have fielded all year.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was about to say. I think it's close enough too. I don't think. I agree with Cottrell, but the question is, and it's come up even on your fan cams tonight. Who comes in? Who does he come in for? I don't know.
We'll let the more experienced and qualified people make those calls. We'll just sit back and enjoy the show.
Absolutely, yeah. Just like I said, play it week by week.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Jason, hey, thanks so much for calling in, mate. I really appreciate it.
All right. Cheers, Tez.
See ya. Lucinda.
Hello, Terry.
Hello. Let's
How
have
are
a
you?
chat. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Great. How are you?
I am fantastic, even though I wasn't under the roof, but my beanie protected this, so totally good. I did have a classic Carlton logoed poncho thing, but I think that my appropriately style called bomber jacket was more than enough to, not risk that coming out. So theoretically, I was good, in amongst the Richmond cheer squad, no less. So when they were pissed off, that was confusing because obviously if they're pissed, then we're doing the right thing. So if you want to visualize where I was, it's sort of like where we first kicked and sort of like the non-behind sticks, you have the goal stick here and there. So we were sort of in between. Like if they kicked straight enough, they might have hit me in the head. So literally between the actual goals in row T. So that was interesting, as was Zach's forfeited goal. It looked eyewitness pretty clear. And on the actual scoreboard, like the level 4 screen, it looked like it didn't nick, but we know that they can do some effery. And I'm like, who cares? We don't really need that. And then my partner asked, okay, it's getting a bit close. It's 12 points. And I'm like, mate, I don't really think so. And then, a few moments later, well, there you go. Like the stuff that I was looking forward to was happening. And I had like a bingo card of who the individuals or multiples would be. But, I've been championing Orazio all year and standing up for him. And I even think I said recently, he will show them soon enough. And because the behind last week was literally like that, I thought, it's going to be sooner rather than later. Did I think it was going to be a Fantastic Four? Not necessarily, but obviously that's a, great thank you to those who didn't rubbish him, and also a great vindication for himself. I mean, he is a champion, people forget, but a little known fact is the last time he kicked 4 was when he was with Port quite deep in the season. So, that's just to show the magnitude.
Was that against Geelong in the finals, potentially? Last time he kicked 4?
I don't know. I think it was 2021, if that helps. Yep, I would not have any idea, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you're talking 2021 to now and sort of deeper than we are at now. And that's what he's doing. See, I think he's just been selfless, with goal assisting, and sure, he's tried to, take a chance here and there and it hasn't worked out. And then obviously he gets more and more negativity. Meanwhile, today, Voss, myself, and whoever actually stood up for him gets rewarded. But foremost, he rewards himself and he backs himself. And that's the important thing. And I saw someone basically calling Fogg the forward that doesn't kick goals. Well, excuse me, I've called more than 1, 2 or more for 2 rounds in a row. But I was always analyzing during the week, saying like, let's say things don't 100% go our way, healthy 30s, 40s, but we can still turn around and get 60s plus. So for us to be 2 off last week, I mean, it's apples and oranges. It's 2 points the difference, consistent margins. And I mean, you could argue that Brisbane overshadowed us last week because their margin was higher, but they win by 5, we win by 2 off our previous margin. If you want to, talk about that aspect, because I think quite a few Carlton supporters were really happy with that, but when they saw what Brisbane did, they went, well, that kind of makes us feel like underwhelming for like 5 seconds. Meanwhile, they just get over the line, avoiding a draw within like 1 or 2 minutes to go. And we basically are 2 points off the previous week with a struggling first half. So if we can still, when we're on fire, do 63, and when we're having a what's going on, okay, we weren't expecting Tom out, so we're a bit, we're getting into it, kind of, filling in for the absence, but just taking a little bit of a, boot up period. Like in terms of like basically being on song the whole way, and then things being a little adaptive, and they have like a little slow patch for us to basically have near identical margins in a sort of, okay, things aren't going 100%, but we're still doing good enough, and they're almost identical, then that's good, because then it reduces the, well, what's a shit day? So we're traveling next week. I'm confident that we've probably got a 90% chance of winning that. Even in a, questionable circumstances. Obviously, we play good in the wet at the moment. The big thing for me, as always, is everyone's healthy. I don't like to say the obvious elephant in the room word because you dare put out in the universe, but the unsaid thing is like, that was my main thing. Considering how much water was under the grass that looked dry, but it really wasn't. The fact that they were all healthy, before, during, and after. I mean, a 61-point win is pretty amazing, especially for a wet weather match. But really, to be ouchies free as well, that's like the major priority. But obviously, professionally, we love what they've pulled off. So then the other elephant in the room is like, well, if we'd been on fire the whole, match, what would have happened? It's like, we did enough and we looked after ourselves. Don't be complacent. But yes, there is well, if we have like a mix of the 2 matches, can we hit the 80s or 90s? Well, absolutely we can. We're there. So
all in good time.
Yeah, I do think against GWS, it might be a hybrid of, tonight and the Geelong one. But at the same time, I still think minimum 30s to 40s is performance-based, faith, and higher than that is good. They don't have to be setting the benchmark of, oh, now we have to get 60 plus. You do whatever, and if that happens, wonderful. But at the end of the day, you only need to really win by 1, but they're showing that that's going to probably be like less cardiac arrest and more comfortable. I think some people have called it boring football. Well, no, thank you. I'm very excited regardless.
There's nothing boring about this.
No.
Look, really good points made, Lucinda, and always appreciate your contribution. Thanks for calling in.
Of course. You're welcome. See you soon.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Ben.
Tez, what's going on?
What's happening, mate?
Not much. Just came home from the game not long ago. First time on the fan cam tonight.
Mate, welcome to the debut.
I've been following you guys for the last 2 or 3 years, and yeah, you do a great job.
Appreciate it, mate.
Keep it up. What
did you see?
Yeah, so I thought we just came out a bit flat at the start. I wasn't concerned because I knew all it takes is just flick the switch. And we did that in the third quarter. But yeah, I definitely did, like, whether that was the Richmond crowd, like there was no one in their home fans, like disgusting, really, like just empty seats everywhere. Yeah, you could definitely tell it was a Richmond home game versus our home game, but no, it got the job done in the end. It's the same for me, like it's our bottom 6 players that is really just, I don't know. I was born in 94, so I'm similar to you. I haven't seen anything for the last, 30 years. It's our bottom 6 that's, that's getting us over the line. It's your Boyd, your Kemp, McGovern. McGovern's not really a bottom six, but just all these kind of players that are popping up. Your George Hewitt, Kennedy. We're no longer like, Fantasia's probably the one that everyone's going out these days, but we had multiple in the past, like Plowman, all these guys that just copped it week in, week out, and Bootsamo and all these players. But
what do you think it is?
We've got that list now.
What do you think it is? Like, why do we have to have? If it's not Fantasia, it's Pitto. I think. Why do you think we do it?
Yeah, I just think they need something just to, we're striving for this perfection, but you can never have perfection.
Yeah.
But we're just, maybe it's a frustration thing that they just, picture one player. But, no, I can't really put exactly what it is. But
it's so bizarre to me.
I just feel they're so connected out there as a team. And I love to see Chincotta at the end of the game. All the players were ready to come off. Chincotta was still taking autographs, taking photos, all that. It just shows like that guy is just pure heart for the club. And we've been so lucky to pick him up in the mid-season draft, like absolute steal. And the guy's trained in the gym, like locked down during COVID. Like hats off to him. Like seriously he's doing a great job. So what were your thoughts, Tess?
Yeah. Look, similar to yours. I was super calm. I enjoyed it. I recognized a little earlier in the piece that we're just better. And I think we were saying it during the week, and we were a little bit mindful of how we were saying it because we didn't want to come across like ahead of ourselves. But we're better. Clearly, we're the better team. We're in better form, statistically, emotionally. I mean, to be fair, they didn't have their best team out there as well, the Tigers, but I don't think it would have mattered. I just think we're ahead of where they're at. They are now where we used to be, and saw it unfolding pretty quickly. And I just watch a group similar to what you said. They're so in sync, and they've got this belief. And let's just stay healthy and one game at a time, and then go into a final series. And then, mate, like I'm dreaming about the day now. I'm thinking about like the childhood dream within. I mean, I'm sure you're the same. Like all we've ever wanted to do is feel it one time. So
literally. I may have stuffed up. I've booked a trip to the Maldives and get back the day after grand final day. So
no, mate, you need to fix this.
It's done. The trip's done. So
change the flight.
All I can say, I might be coming on the fan camps in the Maldives. So
okay, that's actually quite cool. That's actually quite cool. All right, deal.
Yeah. Hold me to that day, okay? And I'll jump on in the Maldives. I'm not going, but the thing is, I won't be watching the sports bar because, like, I won't be able to handle it. I will not be able to be tame. It will just be next level, and it will be it's almost our destiny to play Collingwood in the final somewhere. I know they're not playing the best at the moment, but they don't have their full squad in, and I still think they're probably one of the more dangerous sides. Still, Dacos worries me a little bit because I feel like with our midfield, we're definitely vulnerable around the back. Like it just comes out too easy around the back. I don't know what your thoughts are, but the last couple of weeks, teams are doing it a little bit too easy around there. Just when we have that, not Cripps or what, not Walsh, but Kennedy can get like a little bit slow in there. So I do think we have to counter that with something, whether that's Zach Williams coming in there once Jack Martin and Motlop are fit. One thing on Motlop before I go, I did see him doing some laps at the end of the game.
Because he didn't play in the VFL. He got held over.
Yeah. Didn't look great. Whether it's freezing cold out there, he's not going 100%, but he didn't. Yeah, I wasn't really impressed with how he was looking. So I hope he's doing okay because I hope who knows what's going on behind the scenes, but hopefully we can get him back in because I think he's still that missing piece.
Yeah. Cool. Mate, thank you so much for calling in, making the debut.
No,
Appreciate it.
welcome. No, that's it. Nice to meet you as well. And up the baggers.
Up the baggers, mate. See ya.
See you, Tez. Catch up.
Guys, I forgot to do this earlier. We did get an update on Matt Kennedy. So, hang on, let me read this out. Mitch Cleary. Expectation from Carlton is a medial strain for Matt Kennedy, but he'll head for scans tomorrow for confirmation. Well, he said this. The Blues now a game and a half clear of Freo in third spot. With 8 games left, a home qualifying final is theirs for the taking. Mate, you get us to the MCG for qualifying? Shit. All right. Hey, Dom Pang.
Tez, how are you, mate?
Mate, sitting pretty, top 2, game and a half clear. Going well.
It was a very mature performance, I must say. I just wanted to let you know I'm calling in from Malaysia this time, not Japan. I'm visiting my family, in particular my dad. So it's a bit of a special occasion as a Blue Abroad member because I haven't watched the game with my dad for a very, very long time.
Is that right?
And I just wanted to share, how important it is to have these good memories with family, when you can. My dad's really, really sick. He's got frontal lobe dementia. So he doesn't recognize much, or he doesn't remember much, but he certainly recognizes the Blue Baggers and the Blue Baggers song. And we watched the game together, and it was a special moment, for someone who's coming to the end of their life. So, and we got a win. We got, and it was a very professional performance, led by a mature and excellent captain, someone who's grown into the role, I think, over the last couple of years. I was actually thinking during this game, there was a game that we played against Gold Coast, up in Gold Coast, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, when Cripps and Doherty were co-captains. And I think Cripps was still learning how to be a captain, and he was probably getting a little bit ahead of himself. And I remember he marked the ball inside 50, and he celebrated before he kicked the goal. And he was trying to show his teammates that I can carry the team, but he actually missed the goal. And I think that now he's got the poise and the leadership and the experience to really lead this team from the front, but also get the most out of the other players in the team. And I'm confident, man. I think that we can do it. If not this year, it's always a little bit of luck. If not this year, then next year. And the other person who I'd say has matured is Michael Voss. You've seen him; his performances as a coach have really improved this year. One kind of knock on him in the past was that he was a little bit slow in game, but we're seeing him make really great changes in game and managing the game a lot better. And we just feel strong across the park and mature and experienced, and it's a very exciting time.
Mate, I'm glad that Dad got to, gets to see the club finally turning around after all these years.
When this kind of illness happens, you celebrate the familiarity with the people you love. And what better way to celebrate that familiarity with, through Blue Baggers' success and, all of the great memories that we've had together as father and son, enjoying this fantastic club.
Wow. That's beautiful. No, you really well said, mate. Thank you for sharing, and
no worries.
Just sending the family love, and I'm sure today was a memory that you'll look back on with
I'll cherish it. And the other thing was my 0-year-old, soon to be 1-year-old daughter, who's in the background, was with us too. So this is the first time she's been with him, and that's 3 generations. So 3 generations of Blue Baggers celebrating together.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible.
All right, mate. Well, keep doing the good work, and love to all the Blue Bagger family. Take it
Thanks,
easy.
Tom. See you, mate.
See ya. Bye.
Yuval,
Da 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 da.
Mate,
Da
the Blues.
da 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 da.
We're good. It's real.
I'll keep it short because I always feel like I'm the old man around here. But what we saw in the third quarter was classic Carlton Premiership quarter. It brought tears to my eyes. Reminded me of the good old days when we used to win flags. It was always we were shit, but it was like don't worry, Carlton supporters. Third quarter, Premiership quarter. Bang 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 bang, and we did it with finesse against Richmond, who, yeah, they're shit. I think they know they're shit. They've still got 8 Premiership players in there on the park. I mean, they got these other injuries. They're rebuilding. I mean, they played quite well. I felt the weather. It sort of looked like we didn't want to play. I watched the VFL game before and how pathetic we were. I mean, we were all right, but I don't know. Our VFL team's pretty shit. Like, don't know. I don't know if it's something to worry about because it shows we don't really have depth.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's early days. I mean, Lemmy looked really good. Finally, I thought Murkov looked okay, but they're still in a losing side. So it's sort of, how good are they really?
Yeah, they're both pretty.
It's not like they're dominating. They're just sort of showing signs. Blah blah blah.
I'm not sure if they're really yet in the chat to even play in the ones. So I mean, it's just. I mean, for us, it's just about getting healthy and worrying about who's going to play in the ones, really, and help win the flag.
Yeah, I guess it's more of a, like we want a dynasty here. Like I always like to look for the future. So.
Yeah.
So look, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we've got a shit coach in the VFL. Personally, I don't look at it much. But I know you guys, you're all, you're obsessives of each level, this, that, and the other, Carlton this, Carlton that, Carlton that. But yeah, I don't know, that VFL team, they're sort of.
But what about the AFL? Why are we talking about the AFL team? Let's talk about the VFL team. Let's talk about the AFL team, mate.
The AFL team, well, they're fantastic at the moment. Jeez, I mean, Fogarty in the third quarter, and even our public enemy number one, Fantasia. He chipped in. He was finally slotting them. I guess. I mean, I'm not getting ahead of myself, but it was a formidable display considering Charlie and Harry were pretty much impotent. Yeah,
they didn't really. They weren't as prolific. And we've done it a couple of times now where they both haven't dominated on the scoreboard, but we've had such an even spread. It's very new what we're watching.
It's very new. And also Chincotta was quiet, but then in the last quarter, he just kicked 2 goals just to put the foot in. I think that's the really good thing that now we just smash teams, like it's not this, oh shit, look how fucked they are. Oh fuck, oh, why is Harry missing goals? And then it goes through the whole team. One little thing sort of, we're so fragile. I think it was back when we used to, Fevola used to say, we were so fragile that if one person fucks up, it goes through the whole team and we fall apart and we don't know what to do. But now, that third quarter just, I mean, of course, it was Cripper just going mental and Walshy. But, it was all those little guys coming in. Williams in there now. I mean, he can put goals through, it creates a run on, literally. And it seems like, I think, with Williams in there, because he's slick with his hands, he's good by foot, he puts one through, and then a guy who, Owies did nothing, but he's been quite consistent. But, guys like Fogarty who are just doing the role go, oh, well, I could kick a goal or 2. Let's go,
All 3. Couldn't believe it.
When he put his third through. So, that's the good thing. And, a bit sad for Kennedy. I hope it's not too bad.
Yeah.
I was
looks
also
like,
worried with Williams when he was clutching his foot, but then a minute later he intercepted the ball and got a disposal. So
Yuval, mate, the days that we asked for, I think they're coming. And we're just here
it's
to
been a
enjoy
bit
it.
of a journey since COVID, where we were sort of good but shit, and and having Eddie Betts and all these fill-in players, and the the Teague bullshit train, and then should we have got Ross Lyon? I mean, for fuck's sake, look at Ross Lyon. What a scam artist. My God. St Kilda, they could all go to hell. All right, well, we're up
All
and
right,
about.
mate.
Up and about. Get your finals tickets, kids. It's going to be fun.
Good on you, mate. Da-da-da-da-da. Thanks, mate. Have a good night.
See ya.
Amazing. Tolls, hey, mate.
How we doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
It's good. It's good. Yeah. Like, it feels like with big wins like this, there's less to talk about, isn't there? It's like a bell curve.
I don't know. I think there's a couple of names that we haven't even mentioned. I'm surprised Lockie Cowan's name hasn't had a bit more discussion.
Yeah. Cowan did. I mean, Cowan's looking like a veteran right now.
Yeah,
he's just going so great. Orazio Fantasia showing his experience in the wet. Truly, I think it looked like, especially the first quarter. It was looking like a typical wet, slow, inaccurate game, which you usually see in the rain. But that third quarter just looked bloody good, and I knew watching the rain roll in the fourth, it's just like, we got this.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm super hot on Lockie Cowan. I think he is. I don't know. There's something about him. I think it's because of what he's doing now at the age that he is. I really feel the word generational talent that gets thrown around. And so I don't want to use it, but I really do think he's in a category that I haven't seen a lot of. Yeah, I think he's that good.
It feels so good to see our cheap trades in and our draft picks doing so well after the whole deal with Mick Malthouse, where all of our kind of pretty good players went to other teams and were their best player or even captain them, which felt horrible. It just feels like, especially with all the new re-signings that have happened this week, it just feels like the culture is so good at this club. Especially look at especially that the presser Vossi gave, saying, I think that's ridiculous, talking about Walshy slamming his head. Absolutely going in. That was great.
Well, I heard that BT had some interesting comments to make during the broadcast, so I'm going to look forward to that when I watch the replay tomorrow.
He always will.
Maybe we need to create a bit of a video around BT and just get some word out there.
Yeah. Oh well. Broadcast deals are happening again end of this year, so maybe we'll finally be rid of them.
Yeah, maybe. Tolls, thanks for calling in, mate.
No worries.
Go Blues.
Go Blues.
See you, mate. Hey, Timothy, thanks very much for placing an order at the BA shop. Appreciate it. The link is in the chat, guys. Live chat. The Blue Abroad shop, the BA shop. All sorts of items in there. Hey, Toby. Mate.
Sorry, Matt.
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm very good, Matt. As you know, I had the thing on Tuesday night.
Oh, yes. How'd it go?
Yeah, it went really well, Matt. Really well. Thank you. I spoke really well about our competition that I play in. And, yeah, everybody loved it and came up to me and said, Toby, you spoke really well. So congratulations. And not surprised. So, yeah, had a very good week, Matt. But let's get on to the game. because I'm not here to talk about myself, Matt. Yeah, I thought we were brilliant tonight, Matt. Absolutely brilliant. Zach Williams, my God, is he just getting better, or is God? Are we seeing something special, Tess?
I think collectively we are seeing something special. I reckon this is the best team we've had all year, what we saw today. Oh, I guess DeConing didn't play, so he's got to be a part of that picture. But I just, yeah. It's just such an enjoyable time right now, every week. This was one of the first few weeks where we go into it, everyone is saying, we're so much better. It should be 10 goals. And then it was exactly what we all said it should be. Doesn't really happen that way. Usually there's a surprise in there. So it's becoming consistent. It's becoming predictable, but in a positive way.
Oh, absolutely it is. It just, like, the way we're doing it just looks good. I mean, they were coming back, but I wasn't worried at any single time tonight, Terry. I knew we could just hold on or just do it, because the last couple of weeks we've proven that we can. When teams have kind of come back, we'll kind of get that run and just go, all right, we'll put you away. And it's good to see that, because it makes you just think, my God, if we keep this going, who knows what we can do.
Was there ever a point in that game where you were worried, or did you just feel that we would have our turn and our run and we would, blow the game away? Did you have that confidence?
Look, I was a little bit worried when it got down to a 12-point margin, and I thought, okay, this is looking a bit nervy. But I knew our third quarter, and I knew our third quarters have been good all year, man. So that's when we really flip the switch and we go, okay, we're going to put the foot to the metal, or the pedal to the metal, as they say.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I had a very similar confidence and calmness about me.
Good. It's good to see you now, nice and calm, man. It's a nice feeling, isn't it, Tez?
Well, it's good to enjoy your team doing well after decades of disappointment. And I think it all just bubbles to like this one day that we all want to experience. And does that one day mean that we're happy forever? Well, no, it's more about the journey to that day. I think that is the most important part. But also I really want to experience that in my lifetime. I want that memory. I want that memory where we all cry, literally we'll all cry on the cams, in the street, hugging strangers, like literally crying. I really do feel like it's going to be a highly emotional state for a lot of us when we finally get to live that day.
Oh, Matt, Terry, as you know, I've said I'm looking forward to it, Matt. And if I saw you walking down Lygon Street, Tez, I would yell out to you and go, Terry! And you would probably turn around and go, Tyler! And we'd be like, Matt, how good's this?
Mate, I'll give you a piggyback.
Oh, Matt, no, I would give you one. No, mate, you need one before I do. Terry, as you can see, Matt, I'm a pretty big bloke, Matt.
All right, mate. All right, mate. I can squat. I can squat heavy. I got you covered.
I appreciate that, Matt.
Good on you, Tobes. Pleasure to have you here. Thanks for calling in, and see you.
Always a pleasure, Tess.
Saturday.
Correct, Matt. I'll be here. Up the baggers. See you, Matt.
See you, mate. Another fan cam's done. Another memory put into the history books of the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. Oh, so good. I said it earlier in the show, but yeah, when Harry kicks his goal in the fourth, just took a moment to just look around and just absorb and just remember and reflect on how it used to be. I'm really mindful to not take these days for granted. And I'm really mindful to try and pinpoint moments during games now where you sit back and you're like, oh, the days we used to think would come and hope would come and then fear that they wouldn't come. They're here. They've arrived. So, yeah, look, we're going to go on a run. Whatever happens at the end of the year is what happens. But it's just good to know that we are a bona fide side, bona fide club. So many people are on board now. There's no doubt. You know, you got people who, I mean, you have ultimate optimist, ultimate pessimist, and for whatever reason, like that's just the way it is. It exists. But to have everyone really know that and feel that we're real and we're the real deal, I think is pretty special. So I'm really excited by that. Oh, press conference. Should we try it? Should we try the press conference? The issue is if it's got like Fox Footy. Hang on, do they have it up here? Let me see what I can do. I reckon we can do it this time because it wasn't like a prime time game. We'll do it? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. All right, stand by. Oh, they got microphones.
What was the difference, do you think? Yeah, we did start the game a little bit slower than we'd like, so we didn't probably hit the ground running. Credit to Richmond as well. They brought really good pressure and were, really intent on making sure they defended well. So that kept the scoreboard tight. They persisted, obviously, through there, but I just sort of felt like we needed to energise the game a bit. It just felt like we're probably playing a little bit too conservative and a little bit safe. So half-time, we were able to sort of talk about that and how we correct some of the contest. Gives a little bit more territory in the game, but and that wasn't its main issue. It was probably more just how do we want to energise the game. And, fortunately, we were able to, first 5 minutes didn't look so good after half-time, I've got to say. There was plenty of mistakes. But fortunately, the boys stayed really present and didn't sort of labour on the mistakes too much and kept trying to play the right way. And, in the end, we were able to find our way through it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's been something that we've been gradually working away at. But again, I think it was 96 points off turnover, wasn't it? So it's, that's
huge
number to be able to have that. And it's been well spoken about. But we've talked a lot about our stoppage and our contest, and we know we've got that, and we can go that if needed. But to be able to have a better balance in our game now, to ask a question a different way of the opposition, that's an important attribute to be able to have moving forward. So, if we're going to have a say in this competition, then you've got to have a little bit better balance, and I feel like we've had that for the majority of the year.
Energise the game. There, 8, 5, 9 goals in the last fourth quarters. What do you put that down to?
I think the guys are just sort of believing somewhat in how we're trying to play. And like anything, when you see it once, it's good. When you see it twice, you get a little bit of confidence of it. You start to see it a few more times and a belief starts to grow. And the boys know and should be building some confidence at the back end of the games that they can play that style of football if needed. We're not necessarily doing it from a negative position. We're doing it from a positive position. And we just want to keep playing with that courage and make sure we play our game strong and try and challenge opposition right to the end.
You must have been pleased getting a bunch of goals from the small forward in the way they actually shoot the ball around.
Yeah, our two big guys cop a lot of attention, and so they should. And we've been trying to work out what that forward line looks like and how many threats we have down there, and probably been accused of not having enough, and we've acknowledged that, but we've also got two pretty good forwards there that do know how to kick goals. But when it's not their day, who joins in? And so being able to share the load over the course of the last month, I reckon, has been particularly impressive. So Zach Williams being able to hit the scoreboard, Fogarty kicks 3, Fantasia I was really pleased with, kicks 4. Raz has been doing a role for us that's been somewhat unheralded and probably unnoticed in a lot of ways, but he's just stuck at it, hasn't got desperate, believed in the job he had to get done, and he hit the scoreboard today. Won't always work out like that, but it certainly did today. And I'm probably missing a couple there as well. So, Sincotta hits the scoreboard late. So, getting a few goal kickers on the floor, that's going to be pretty important for us.
They're no superstars, and that's no disrespect to those small forwards, but there's a bit of pressure for spots down the rear.
Yeah, well, we hope so. Certainly, building to the back half of this year and having players return, that builds momentum when you've got players that are in form, and then you've got guys that are obviously trying to vie for that position as well. So it creates some really good internal drive, I reckon, some internal competition, but also understanding that, we prioritise those roles. And I've spoken about it before, but we give status to those roles, and we want to keep celebrating them. And today was one of those days where it wasn't so much the talls marking it, but the smalls are able to get have some impact in the game.
Zach Williams is quite emotional in there. How important has he been to the group, and how good's his story been, I guess, to get to what he's doing now?
Yeah, I think with Zachy's story, it's when I first got here, is obviously struggled with the body and trying to get out on the park, and for Zach, a lot of the stuff he's done has been around his footy and how he's formed his identity as a person has been, playing football, but family always been really important to him. And he's had some real off-field challenges, and then football was taken away from him for a while. And I think he's really gone to work on himself, and, he's got a, unbelievable understanding around gratitude and perspective now, and who he is as a person, and the family that he has, and the people who back him. And so his journey's been a pretty special one to watch, and to sort of see where he's at now, and the joy that he's got on his face and the smile he has, and seeing his family out there today was a pretty special moment. And he's a very important person to us, and continue to be so.
How important is he as a player, the way he's turned into the goal kicker?
Yeah, I said it was nice to actually have someone who celebrates a goal more than Matty Owies. So it's actually finally nice to see. So we've got someone in there with a little bit of the creative gene that doesn't mind bringing a bit of excitement, putting a smile on faces. So whenever I see those, and I see the boys and how they're coming together as a forward line, that brings a smile on my face.
From the Connie, you rested. What was the story behind that, and how's he doing for next week?
No, we sort of, the bigger picture is that we're asking him probably play big minutes. Certainly in the last month we have, and he was just too sore. Like he's, we got to yesterday, and he was just still really sore from last week's game, and so we took a conservative approach, and we had a ruckman that could come in and play his aggressive best, and I thought Pito really sort of stuck out his guns for most of the game, and in the second half was able to sort of have a bit of a say on what happened there. So it was nice and he deserved it as well. But being able to take that squad mentality and have a next man in is a pretty handy next man in. But I guess we'll get Tom back next week. But yeah, to be able to have the week off and probably rest a few bruises, not a bad thing.
Chero came off.
Yeah, he's fine. So we'd sort of done some pre-planning that if we were in a position to do so, we had Hewitt, who's been in pretty good form himself, to be honest. So so we just felt like it was a bit of a like for like, and if we could just manage his load in the game, we would. But yeah, he'd be fine to go from here. Yeah, he's a medial, so we don't really know in the knees. So yeah, we don't know how the extent of that just yet. But yes, it'll definitely be a medial. We just don't know the significance of it yet.
When you're taking someone like Chero off, do you weigh up giving Cripps a rest at certain times?
Nah, keep him going. He's keeping going. So I think he would have torn my head off, Cripper, if I took him off at that particular time. You've got to be really careful what you do there. But no, look, we had some pre-planning. Obviously, those things are always discussed, but we're just in that fortunate position, and we didn't have to. Adam's done all the work throughout the last 6 or 7 weeks to get himself ready. So it wasn't like we needed to, but we just sort of felt like with the game, with where it was and what we could replace it with, it was a bit of an easier decision to make. It's been pretty impressive. The
question was about Cripps' last month.
Yeah, look, I think he's playing with an element of freedom. He gets to concentrate on his job, knowing that he's got men around him that are going to get their jobs done, and I don't feel like he's overreaching. He's just sticking at his job, and he trusts the people around him, and he's got some bigger goals in mind, Cripper, and but he's you can just sort of see that his energy that he brings during the week. I think his leadership's been outstanding this year. What he does behind the scenes and the standards he's trying to drive, and He's as determined as anyone to get the best out of this group, and he wants success for this football club, and you can sort of see it in the way that he's playing. Cheers. No worries.
It's so good. So good. Hey, Derek, thanks very much for placing an order at the BA shop. Yeah, guys, I reckon that's it. I'm tempted to do my review tonight. I usually sleep and do it in the morning, but tomorrow is going to be a marathon. Genuinely, we are going to have content from 5 p.m. all the way through to like 9:30 p.m. It's going to be a big marathon. 5 p.m. will be the rating show. 7 p.m. Oh, yes, mate. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. 5 p.m. we'll do the ratings with Pommy. 7 p.m. we'll do the BA show. And then 8 p.m. the Almost Blues Brothers will come on. So Sunday afternoon games are a bit tricky because we've got to cram it in, but it is what it is. I think I might go to sleep, get an early night, get an early morning, and do my review first thing in the morning. And then so you'll get that out probably at the start of your day tomorrow. And yeah, just another session in the books. Just very grateful that we're finally hearing our coach talk like that, hearing the club talk like this. We just kept asking, when is it going to end? When is it going to end? Well, those times have ended and these times have arrived. And now we've got to adjust to them. So it's beautiful. Thanks, guys. Really grateful to have you here. Love your support. Love the club. Love the Blues. And we'll go from there. See ya.